Do you know that one friend who is constantly canceling plans? The one who is tired yet again, or who says, maybe next time? And now be completely honest with yourself. If you listen deep down inside, are you that friend? If you are someone who actually looks forward more to a Friday night in pajamas with Netflix and a warm tea than a VIP invitation to the hottest party in town, then welcome to the club. You might be thinking, oh no, I'm boring, I'm getting old, I'm missing out on my life. Forget that. If you think that constantly being out among people is the only way to lead a fulfilling life, then you have fallen for one of society's greatest marketing tricks. Today, we aren't celebrating the party animals. We are analyzing the psychology of the people who love to stay at home. Those whom society labels as boring, but whom science knows as something completely different, as biologically efficient. Stay tuned, because we are about to find out whether you are just lazy or if your brain is running on a frequency that most people can't even pick up. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. We live in a world that was built for extroverts. Open plan offices, networking events, brainstorming sessions where the winner is whoever shouts the loudest, not whoever has the best idea. The problem isn't that you like being at home. The problem is the constant sense of guilt that is pushed on you. That little voice in your head that says, you should go out, you should experience something, you're missing out. That isn't just annoying, it's toxic. It forces you into social situations that suck the life out of you like a vampire on a diet. You go out, you smile, you make small talk about the weather or real estate prices, and inside you are dying a slow death. You come home feeling not inspired, but as if a truck has run you over. That is the mental stress of masking. You are playing a role that wasn't written for your script. And the dangerous part is, if you do this constantly, if you are always fighting against your nature, it doesn't lead to more friends. It leads to burnout. It leads to hating yourself because you don't function like the others. But what if I told you that staying home isn't an escape, but a fortress? And that brings us to the point no one tells you when they want to sell you a ticket for the next festival. You can get rid of this feeling of guilt and do so immediately, without suddenly having to mutate into a party person, without obsessively looking for hobbies that require group work, and above all, without pretending to be someone you're not. The solution doesn't lie in becoming more social. It starts in a place that you probably don't even have on your radar, your biological battery. You see, it's not a character flaw, it's hardware. Your desire for the couch, for silence, and for a closed door is not a glitch in the system. It's a protective mechanism for a resource that is more valuable than time, your cognitive bandwidth. While everyone else is out there blowing through their energy, you are building something that can only grow in silence. But why exactly does a party feel like work to you and like a vacation to your friend? The answer lies in a single chemical molecule in your brain. Let's put on our lab coats for a moment. It's about dopamine. We all love it. We all want it. But here's the difference between extroverts and homebodies. Sensitivity. Extroverts have a lower sensitivity to dopamine. This means they need a lot of stimulation, noise, new faces, loud music, action, to feel anything at all. They are like solar panels that need bright sun to generate electricity. When they are alone, their energy level drops. They get restless. They run out of juice. You, on the other hand, if you like being at home, are probably an introvert or highly sensitive. Your brain reacts much more strongly to dopamine. A normal conversation in a loud bar is to your brain like someone screaming into your ear with a megaphone. You get overstimulated quickly. Psychologists call this the theory of optimal arousal. Everyone has a sweet spot where they function best. For you, this spot is set lower. That's not laziness, it's efficiency. Your nervous system perceives more details and processes more information in the background. When you then pile social interaction on top of that, your working memory fills up. At home, it's different. At home, you have control. And that control is precisely the key to what we are about to discuss. Because at home, something magical happens to your brain that would be impossible in the chaos outside. The first simple hack, now we know why you tick this way. But how do we use that without ending up as a hermit who talks to their cats? Here is the hack. Stop seeing your home as a place of retreat and start designing it as a charging station. Many people stay home and just waste away. They scroll through social media for hours and feel worse afterward than before. That's not the homebody life we want. That's numbing yourself. Turn off the outside world completely for 90 minutes. Not just physically, but digitally. Phone in airplane mode, into the drawer. If you are at home but still digitally connected to the world, your brain doesn't recover. You are physically on the sofa, but mentally in the marketplace. Make your home a sensory tank. Dim the lights. Tidy up, wipe the table. Put on the most comfortable clothes you own. Why does this work? Because it eliminates decision fatigue. Outside, the world is unpredictable. Loud strangers, train delays. The question, your place or mine? At home, you control the light, the noise, the temperature, and the snacks. When you actively take control of these things instead of just letting yourself be passively entertained, your brain switches from survival mode to creativity mode. And that is exactly where homebodies become geniuses. But wait a minute, doesn't that make us lonely? Aren't we missing out on real life? That brings us to a myth we urgently need to destroy. The next big myth is, memories are only made outside. Society, Instagram, and soft drink ads constantly tell us, live your best life. And it's always illustrated with groups of laughing people at the beach, at concerts, or skydiving. That simply isn't true. Science shows that people who can enjoy solitude tend to be more creative, better at problem solving, and more emotionally stable. Why? Because the best ideas aren't born when you're trying to scream at the bartender to get a beer. They arise in silence. Newton was sitting under a tree, not in a pub, when the whole gravity thing dawned on him. Instead of being afraid of missing out, celebrate the joy of being exactly where you are. That's not a consolation prize, it's an upgrade. You have to learn to recognize the difference. Are you staying home because you're afraid of the world or because you enjoy your own company? The right strategy is selectivity. Say no to 80% of things so that you have enough energy for the 20% that are truly important to you. Your friends will respect it. No, I need some time for myself today is 1,000 times better than a yes, followed by sitting at the table all evening with a face like thunder. But beware, there is a dark side to staying home that we've all slipped into at some point. Let's dive deep into the dark matter. There is a fine line between self-care and self-isolation. Sometimes we don't stay home because we want to recharge our batteries, but because we are avoiding things. We avoid confrontation. We avoid the risk of being rejected. We avoid life. If your home turns from a fortress into a bunker, we have a problem. Social anxiety, depression, or just simple convenience whispers in your ear, stay here. It's safe here. It's exhausting out there. How do you distinguish between the two? It's simple. How do you feel after your time alone? Do you feel recharged, inspired, and ready to go out again eventually? That is healthy solitude. Do you feel numb, lonely, and even more afraid of taking the next step out the door? That is avoidance. Here is the hack for tricking yourself. The small dose rule. When you notice yourself withdrawing too much, don't force yourself to go to a party. That's too much. Go for a 10-minute walk. Go to a cafe, sit in the corner, and read a book. Be alone among people. This signals to your brain, the world is safe, but I am keeping my autonomy. You have to train your brain that outside doesn't automatically mean stress, but your base camp, your headquarters, remains your home. And we have to protect this base camp from intruders. You will have setbacks. There will be days when you say yes, even though you mean no, and then you'll be annoyed. Or you'll stay home and still feel lonely because you see on Instagram how everyone else is having fun. That's normal. Productivity and mental health are not a sprint. They are a marathon. One evening alone on the couch doesn't make you a hermit. One evening at a party doesn't make you an extrovert. It's about balance. Your goal isn't to never go out. Your goal is to manage your social battery so well that when you do go out, you can actually be present. The people who are constantly on the go are often the ones running away from themselves the most. If you can stand it, no, if you enjoy it, being alone with your thoughts in a quiet room, you have a superpower that most people lack today. You are self-sufficient. But what do we do with this gain time and energy? We need a vision, deeper motivation, and reframing. Imagine using this time at home not just to regenerate, but to create. Most people spend their lives consuming. They go out, get entertained, come home, sleep, repeat. You have the space and time to go deeper. Psychologists call this a preference for low stimulation. Sounds unsexy, but it's brilliant. It means you don't need fireworks to be happy. You find joy in small rituals. The way the coffee smells in the morning when everything is still quiet. The feeling of closing a book after reading the last sentence. Watching the sunset, how the light moves through your window. These are things that high-speed society races right past. But that is exactly where the depth of life lies. You aren't boring. You are mindful. You aren't slow. You are thorough. Stop apologizing for it. I want you to imagine your ideal self. Not the self that is laughing in every photo and has 500 friends, but the self that is completely at peace with themselves at the end of the day. Imagine you are sitting in your favorite spot. It's quiet. You have no more obligations. You don't have to impress anyone. You don't have to be funny or smart or good looking. You just have to be. This feeling of peace is what we are looking for. This is the luxury of the modern world. Silence is the new status. Next time you get an invitation and your whole body screams, "No," think of this image. Remember that you aren't missing out, but rather you are giving yourself a gift. Time with the only person you are guaranteed to spend the rest of your life with, yourself. Make sure you like that person. So to all the couch potatoes, cave dwellers, and homebodies out there, you aren't broken. You are specialized. You are wired for depth, not breadth. For peace instead of performance. If you are someone who turns down invitations without guilt, who is truly happy on a lonely Saturday, who would rather watch their comfort show for the 10th time than desperately try to make new memories, then congratulations. You figured out the game. Write to me in the comments below. Are you Team Friday Night Escalation or Team Friday Night Pajamas? And be honest, we're among friends here. And if you want to know how to use this peace and focus to reach your goals without burning out, then the next video is exactly what you need. It's going to hit you even harder than this one, because we'll be talking about the lies we tell ourselves about success. Click it. See you on the couch. If this story has changed your perspective on quiet time in your own fortress, then subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We reveal the psychological truths that are often buried under the noise of the world. Cultivate your inner peace. The next treasure of knowledge will soon open up for you.